you stop and take a little time out with me? Just take 5.
I was just saying, I see Belichick, with the McDonald's cap on, in the drive-thru. That's why I was like, he's down there McDonald's. But all right, go ahead, Drew.
But I just wanted to, get y'all's thoughts. We had a new NFL coaching hiring cycle, and a full cycle went around without Bill Belichick, the greatest coach of all time, being hired. I kind of wanted to hear y'all's opinion on him not getting hired, as well as Mike Vrabel, and what hires you liked and what hires you didn't. So,
I mean, I made my thoughts abundantly clear the very second they hired Raheem Morris. I think that's one of the worst hiring decisions in NFL history, actually.
This is just an emotional show today, huh?
When you have Bill Belichick up for grabs and you go for the defensive coordinator of the Rams, there's something going on.
Bro, you have to think about why they didn't hire Bill, though. I was an advocate for Bill. Bill's a great coach. He should get a job. But the reason the Falcons didn't hire Bill is because I assume we're going to get a young quarterback. And we also have a solid GM. Like Terry Fontenot has drafted very well. And if Bill Belichick comes in, then that kind of diminishes Terry's role. So obviously he wouldn't want to hire him. Like, you got to think about it from that perspective.
I mean,
and
I know that, but
Bill Belichick in recent years, as the GM, has not done a good job. Like, Bill Belichick, the GM for the Patriots, did a bad job the last few years, but the coach is still great. So I feel like that's why we didn't go get him. And to your point, I think I don't think Raheem is the worst hire of all time. Or even in this cycle. You're stretching it. You're stretching it.
No, he definitely is.
He's absolutely not the worst hire in this cycle. Because you got to think.
Absolutely.
He brought the Rams. Okay. One thing that we needed to do was address our offensive play calling. We don't know how good our offensive coordinator is going to be, but we know that he's one of Sean McVay's disciples in one of the two systems that works in the NFL right now, pretty much, or two of the three. There's three systems that works, and it's McVay, Shanahan's, and then Stefanski's. But what's it called? We brought Sean McVay's disciple in to be our little offensive coordinator and our play caller, which I think is definitely a good move. So that's why we hired Raheem.
I'm interested to see.
Dude, Dan Quinn got hired. I
think Dan Quinn is a worse hire than him. Also,
Dan Quinn is going to do a Super
Commanders
Bowl.
are going to go out for a defensive-minded coach. Like, why not get Belichick?
Dan Quinn went to a Super Bowl, but you got to think our defense wasn't that strong that year.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. We had
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. I'm telling you, they were ranked.
I'm telling you.
I'm pretty sure they were ranked 20th in the league.
Bro, they were all like 20 years old.
They were young. I agree. They were young, but they were ranked like 20.
They were very good for young.
Okay, we can say the same thing about the Rams defense this year. They
were.
Name 3 players on the Rams defense. Go ahead.
I can't do it.
I know you can't.
Exactly.
They were young.
Exactly.
Good.
And let me pull up the Rams rank. Defensive rank.
They were like mid with no. They had
were
no
mid?
draft picks.
Were they mid or were they bad?
They weren't bad. They were like mid.
Okay.
They were. But what's it called? It's because they invested nothing in their defense. They performed way better than their expectation.
They did.
All they had is Aaron Donald. That's about it. Like the average football fan can name like Aaron Donald and a bunch of young guys flying around, and they played pretty well. They went to the playoffs.
The only person I probably would have hired over Raheem is probably Belichick or Vrabel. But I mean, I don't think it's a terrible hire. Like
I would have liked Jim Harbaugh over him, but
or Harbaugh.
We didn't really have a shot at Jim Harbaugh. I think he wanted to go be Justin Herbert's coach.
Yeah.
And then I wanted Bobby Slowick from the Houston Texans, but he stayed there. So I don't think it was a bad hire at all. Like, I think it was a pretty good hire. We got offensive coordinator to call plays for our next quarterback, and Raheem can coach defense. Raheem is a good coach, well respected around the league.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah, I just don't want to be 7-10. Like, we do better than that.
Definitely going to be 7-10, bro.
Like, well,
but you're not going to be 7.
Y'all play the Eagles
because of the coach. Like, I don't even.
I mean, it's definitely not going to help.
Dude.
So you think he's a bad coach?
Arthur Smith.
I think he's not a coach. I think he's not a head coach.
Why?
This is crazy.
Because he hasn't been ever.
Yes, he has.
Okay, well, he's no Belichick.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true. Belichick has 3 years left in it.
You don't want 3 years of Belichick?
I said I wouldn't be mad if we
He's been
hired
better,
Belichick,
like-
but it's only 3. Like, we're going to hire Bill Belichick for 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
I don't know. If Bill Belichick's coming to be our GM, no. I said that. I said no. If Bill Belichick wants to come and be the
That
GM,
wasn't in the
fucking
question.
Stay away. Yes, it
That was
is.
the deal, though.
That might have been what he wanted.
That's what I'm saying. If he's not, that's why he didn't get hired. That's what I think at least.
No, it was our decision.
He didn't get any jobs. Nobody hired him.
That's what I'm saying.
So you don't think there's a reason for that?
It's because he wanted to be a GM.
And he shouldn't be. He
I
shouldn't
know
be.
he shouldn't be.
Okay, so keep him away from my franchise, especially right now. We're a few pieces away right now. I don't need him to draft our next quarterback. Absolutely not. Stay far away.
Bro, anybody could draft a quarterback out of this draft and make the right decision.
Dude, he
Mac
drafted Mac
Jones.
Jones.
He drafted Mac Jones 2 years ago.
Bro, obviously he's not going to pass up on
Apparently
all the
he was-
top 5
apparently
quarterbacks
He was the
this
sole
year.
driver of running Tom Brady out of New England and trying to keep Garoppolo on the freaking team. Like,
That's happened.
let's not act like he's had some great quarterback decisions in the last 6
Bill
years.
Belichick, the GM, has not been good recently. He's
Yeah.
probably the best GM ever, all time. But in the last few years, he's been bad. Bad.
I mean, it's just crazy that you take that sample size of 2 years over his
Not
20-year career.
Not 2. Multiple
Yes,
years.
like two
No.
or 3.
Around 5, probably.
It's
No.
been around 5.
Say
They haven't
five.
been good since Brady left.
It started with Brady leaving, and he was the one that vetoed
He
him.
pushed Brady out.
saying,
He
but-
said Brady wasn't good anymore. He pushed
Did
Brady
he
out.
draft
Brady-
Garoppolo?
Yeah, they drafted Garoppolo.
I assume
That was
so,
a good
yeah.
draft pick.
Oh yeah,
Wow.
right. It was a great
Jimmy
draft.
Garoppolo wasn't good. Like he
Garoppolo's
wasn't
not
that
a
good.
good quarterback.
Jimmy Garoppolo is a backup quarterback right now to Aiden O'Connell.
I understand that. Like he's currently bad. At the time, it was a good pick.
No, it was
Was it?
not. You had freaking
Yes.
Brady.
So you
He
want
had success.
nigga, if Bill Belichick became our GM, I wouldn't be surprised if we picked up JJ McCarthy. If we
Bro,
pick up JJ
stop.
McCarthy, I'm running to Flowery Branch, Georgia, and I'm running inside the facility.
He would not draft.
I'm running inside of the facility in Flowery Branch if we picked up a guy like JJ McCarthy.
Oh, my fault. But I mean, do you have what we got left on this slide, Drew? Any other coaches you want to speak on?
I like the Mike McDaniel down there or Mike McDonald, excuse me, down there in Green. The Ravens defensive coordinator, he's like 35, really young, great defensive play caller for the Ravens this year. They had the best defense probably that we've seen in a while. Like that was a pretty dominant defense, even though they lost last week, unfortunately. But I think that was definitely a good hire for the Seahawks. And obviously, Jim Harbaugh, that's the best hire of the cycle. Proven winner, NFL level, proven winner in college. Like I would say, yeah.
Yeah, I
Great
think
hire.
the Chargers are gonna be so really good next year. They might compete with the Chiefs for that one spot.
They're in trouble. I feel like they're in a bit of trouble with their roster. They've got a lot of guys on their way out.
I guess, yeah.
And a lot of cap issues. So they've got like Khalil
They
Mack,
gotta
Keenan
figure out the
Allen,
financials.
Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler's gone, but
They'll
Keenan
window
Allen. They got to decide. They've obviously got to decide with Khalil Mack. They've got to pay, or Joey Bosa's been paid already. Derwin James has been paid already. Like, they've got a lot of decisions to make. So we'll see what happens with that roster.
To be fair.
Yeah, Herbert has been paid. So, yeah, it's getting a bit tight over there financially. So we'll see. I've heard they're going to try to bring in Saquon to be a running back. So
That'd be tough.
that would be special if they did. Yeah.